Hi.
Hi.
So I've been kind of, teasing what your book is about, but tell us a little more about it and what inspired you to write this book.
Yeah, so Best Behavior is about a big, crazy, extended, blended family that comes together for a college graduation weekend. And the college is fictitious, it doesn't really exist, but it's set in a small town outside of Boston. And the main character, Meredith, is sort of at a crossroads in her life. She's about to turn 50. Her two twins, her babies, are graduating from college. And so she's experiencing these serious empty nesting pangs. And as much as she's looking forward to the graduation, she's also kind of dreading it because she knows that it means lots of cocktail parties and events with her ex-husband, Roger, who's recently remarried to Lily, who is, of course, 20 years younger than he is and gorgeous and perfect in every way. Your basic nightmare, right? So she's trying not to feel like the frumpy mom at her kid's own graduation. And she's promised herself that she will be the Jacqueline Onassis of graduations and just be poised and graceful for this through the whole thing. But of course, none of that goes as planned. And there are lots of secrets. The kids are acting sort of weird. Lily has her own secret that becomes revealed toward the end. And I think, my one takeaway, other than I hope this is a really fun family drama summer read, is that everyone who's putting on their best behavior, they kind of have to let their facades down. And I think when they let the real vulnerable selves show, that's when the real bonds and connections are formed in the family. So
Somebody in the comments is asking what it's called. So I just wanted to say again, it's called Best Behavior. I don't know if
yeah,
you have a copy you can hold
I
up.
do. Of course, now that I've been running around the house trying to get on. Hold on. I have a copy. Here we go. Yeah, so it's called Best Behavior. Let me see if I can do this. And yeah, the
Awesome.
title actually is a funny story. I mean, not funny, but we went through, I don't know, hundreds of titles before we landed on this one. And of course, I think now, as so often happens, once you actually have the title, you feel as though, well, of course, that was the title that it was be all the time. But there was lots of hair pulling trying to figure out what would be a good one.
What was like the second and third choice?
Let's see. So The Graduates was it was originally called,
Okay.
which I had always kind of liked. And, just that, not that just the kids are graduating, but sort of Meredith is graduating to her next step in her life. But I think people felt like that put the emphasis too much on the kids somehow. And we didn't want people thinking it was just, about a kid's graduation, that there was a lot more here in terms of family saga and people behaving badly.
But you don't look like you're old enough to have gone through this experience yourself, have you?
I have two step kids and I have an 11-year-old at home. But thank you for that. That's not true. I'm
But
plenty old.
but your stepkids are the ones who graduated from college.
They have not yet. Actually, my stepdaughter was supposed to graduate this weekend on
Oh,
Saturday. I know. So she's dealing with that and, doing a virtual toast online. But, postponed indefinitely until we find out what's really going on, and when we can all go back. And then my stepson is a junior in college. So,
okay.
and thankfully, I should say our blended family is nothing like the family in the book, but it's I had the advantage of getting to know them when they were very young. So whereas Lily is getting to know the kids in the book, of course, when they're college students and skeptical and wary of everyone. So she has a much tougher audience.
No, it's great to even shine a light on experiences like this because, my parents were divorced when I graduated from college.
Uh-huh.
I'm divorced, so we will be a blended family when my kids, God
Yeah.
willing, graduate from college. So it's like one of these things where you keep going through all these big life events with your kids, even just a birthday party, and yet you're thrown together with your ex and whoever they may be dating, and they're thrown together with you and your relationship, and it's like this level of awkwardness, and yet you're supposed to be focusing on the kids. So anyway, it's like all this unspoken stuff. So I'm glad that you spoke it or wrote it rather.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And forever now, and he's a teddy bear of a guy, but he sort of says exactly that. Like, nobody makes a guide for step parents to these situations other than, you know, everything's stipulated about summer vacation and, you know, trading off weekends or whatever, but nothing about how to handle sort of those other milestones in life, like weddings, graduations, you know, and he keeps wishing he had a handbook for that and sort of on how to get through. But yeah, I mean, I very much felt like, you know, the American family has been redefined in so many ways, and I wanted to explore that a little bit too. For good, you know, whether you've got two moms or two dads or a blended family or extended family, there's so many different iterations today, and you know, I think we all have our ups and downs. There are celebrations, there are challenges, but everyone, you know, we all find our own way to get through it.
Yeah, one day at a time.
Exactly.
How long did it take you to write this book? Like, what was the process like?
So, so this was my fourth book, and I wish I could say it gets easier, but it doesn't. Every time is equally difficult or more so. And I think, you know, I tried to write when my son was at school, but now with quarantine, I haven't done anything for 7 weeks, basically. But I try to write, you know, during the school hours. It probably took me a good year and a half, and then lots and lots of revising. I do tons of revising. So.
And what about now? What are you working on? What's your next project?
So my next project is I'm in revisions for my book coming out next summer, which is about, just briefly, set in Boston again at a Tony historic hotel on the water. And it's about three guests who come together in a sort of tragedy. I'm not sure how much to give away yet, but a tragedy happens there. And it brings all the guests together trying to sort of figure out this mystery of what happened at the hotel. So that's next summer. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that as my kids and their like whole cohort gets older, and I now have like the perfect gift to give every parent of a graduating kid. Honestly, I mean, my older kids are just about 13, so we have a little time. But you know, it's you know, I could use that book back when I was graduating. So
thank you so much. Well, I feel so bad for everybody, you know, who's supposed to be graduating, and in a weird way, maybe this will be a kind of, people can live vicariously and experience the cocktail parties through the book and the green lawns, and although there's a lot more drama in this book than they probably want.
Right. I know. I feel like you know, not that it's like easy being in quarantine with my 4 kids and all the rest, but when I think about how devastated I would have been in other phases of my life when I was so much more dependent on like my social group, and especially college and those milestones, I just, you know, I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I know, it's true. And I don't know how you do it, Zibby, because you always seem like you're just the model of the Zen, and you have 4 kids under, well, are they all under 12? I mean, what do you do with them in the day? Do you lock them in the basement, or what do you do with them?
No, they're, well, my big kids have homeschool, like they're in school. So they're upstairs in school while I do this. And they don't usually appear again till like 1:30 or 2. And then my little guys, I spend the whole morning with them until I do this. And then at 11, one kid has school and the other kid is on an iPad, and then I'll go out and we'll have lunch and, you know, back to life. So, yeah. I don't know. It gets me, honestly, this is like getting me through having interaction with other people and talking about books and great stories. And it's a huge escape for me. And the kids know I do it, and they support, you know, they know, like, we have our schedules. So anyway, this is how I ended up doing it. But anyway.
It's so wonderful. And thank you for all that you are doing for authors, because especially during this time, I mean, there's no other way really to get word out about books that have come out. So I really enjoyed watching a lot of your shows.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, stay tuned. And P.S. I am not Zen at all when I'm not doing the show. This is my chance to like pull myself together. No, I'm serious. My kids would like laugh. I scream and I cry and I can be a mess. So,
to get through it, you have to be, right? You have to be your authentic self. Otherwise, you know, there's no point.
That's all I got. All right. Well, thanks. I'm glad this worked. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Take care. Bye.